I'm Don Lindman, and I'm very grateful for the fact that the bishop has allowed us to come and talk about our ordination for 50 years, and it was quite an honor, and I appreciate the fact of that. I was ordained in 1971, and I remember going to my first synod convention, and it was in Susquehanna University. And of course, that dates me right there, since we no longer go there, and we never longer call it synod convention. But as I was ordained, I went to Reedsville Lutheran Church, and I served there for 8 years. One of the good things about my ministry there was we were able to increase the church membership, and we were able to build a beautiful education unit onto the church. And during that time, it was interesting because Agnes hit, and that was a very traumatic time for our church as Reedsville got flooded, and we had a house full of guests because we had to evacuate a number of people from their homes, and so we put them up in our house for a couple of days. Also, while there, I was able to help establish and maintain a volunteer hospital ministry at the Lewistown Hospital. It was a good time, and I enjoyed my time there. Then after 8 years, I moved to Ephrata, Pennsylvania, where I became the co-pastor of Trinity Lutheran Church. While there, I served as president of the Ephrata Area Social Services, and also served as a volunteer chaplain in the Ephrata Hospital. It was at that time, after 5 years, I felt a calling for hospital ministry. I attended the program at the Hershey Medical Center. After a year of CPE, I got a job at the Lebanon VA Medical Center and enjoyed my time there for 20 years. While I was in Ephrata, we had the experience of the 3 Mile Island, and that was also a very interesting time. So hopefully that doesn't mean my ministry was filled with tragedies, but it was an interesting time. I joined the National Guard as a chaplain in 1975. I served in the National Guard for 12 years, and I joined the Army Reserves, transferred to them, and I became the Garrison Chaplain at Fort Dix, New Jersey. I was in charge of the ministry team where we interviewed soldiers, because Fort Dix was the in-processing center for National Guard and Reserve troops, and they were mobilized for active duty. I was in the reserves for 28 years. During my time in the reserves, 9/11 happened, and I was mobilized as the Garrison Chaplain full-time on active duty to deal with the in-processing of the National Guard and the Reserve troops. I had developed a program that our ministry team would interview every soldier that was called up, and we would assess their emotional and their spiritual needs and provide a ministry for them that would help them as they left their families in deployment, and so that they would be better prepared for their time away from home. Because of the ministry of the soldiers, I had the honor of being chosen Military Chaplain of the Year by the Reserve Officers Association, because they felt that what I had done with the soldiers there, and also providing instruction for other chaplains as they were in their different processing centers in the United States, they felt that I would be honored as the Military Chaplain of the Year. Looking back in my ministry, I think I would tell my younger self that it would be necessary to have my devotions the first thing in the morning, instead of trying to fit them into my daily schedule. When I finally did that, I realized that my day was much better, spiritually, emotionally, because I began the day with my devotions instead of trying to fit them in. I remember at Synod Convention that the 50-year ordinands were honored, and they would go up on stage and talk to them. And I remember talking to my friend next to me. He said, boy, it's really interesting that 50 years, wow, that seems like a long time. And I'm sure they gained a lot of wisdom. And now here I am. And I was right. That was a long time. But it was a good time, and I'm glad I can now reflect back on my 50 years. I'd like to again thank the bishop for the fact that we can be here and talk about our 50 years of ministry. Thank you.